All right. I want to start this lesson by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekha, double honor to the elders and the apostles and teachers and wise men, a great millstone that I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Salutations out to the elect. All right. I want to start this lesson in the book of Psalms 83. Let's start at verse 1. And as you can see, the heading says, God implored to confound his enemies. All right, let's read verse 1. It says, Keep thou not silent, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. Verse 2, For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. You see? So the Lord has enemies, and Israel also has enemies, because the Lord is our God. He's the God of the Israelites, and not the God of these other nations. You see? So if they're the Lord's enemies, they're our enemies also. Verse 3, it says, For they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. They have consulted against thy hidden ones. Verse 4, they have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. You see? And that's how these other nations see us. They see us as being a no people, as being just, nothing. You see, they've been trying to cut us off from being a nation. That's why they have this system against us. You see, that's why they're pleased with us being at a low state. Though we be the children of the Most High, Yahweh, the children of God, these our enemies, they want us to be at a lower state. You see, because they're another nation of people, and they were created to be the enemies of Israel, to be ungodly, and we were created to be the righteous. Righteousness cannot mix with unrighteousness. You see, they can't coincide. They can't be happy together. One has to be righteous, which is the nation of Israel, and the other, which are these heathen nations, they're the unrighteous. You see, but the wicked of the earth, that's these Edomites. But let's continue to read. What the point of me reading this is to give you an example of Israel having enemies. You see, because these heathen nations, they hate us and they hate our God. All right, verse 4 again. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. You see, so they've always tried to cut us off from being a nation and to cut our name out of the earth. Verse 5, it says, For they consult together with one consent. You see, these heathen nations, they consult together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. You see, so these heathen nations have always been against us, even unto this day. In verse 6, verse 6 and on down, it gives you a list of these heathen nations. Let's see who it starts with. It says the tabernacles of Edom. You see, and who are the modern day Edomites? The seed of Edom, you so-called white people, which you're not white, you're red. It says the Ishmaelites, the Moabites, the Hagarenes, the Jabal, Ammon, Amalek, which are the top Edomites, the dukes of Edom. It said the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have Hopan, the children of Lot. And it goes down to list the heathen nations that are against the children of Israel, that consult together and that are crafty, against the people of God. You see, that aid with these so-called Edomites, these white people, in building a system to keep us oppressed and to keep us down. You see, and to keep us as a no people. So that's now that I've established that we have enemies, let's read this in the book of Ecclesiasticus, which is Sirach and the Apocrypha. This is Ecclesiasticus. Let's see, chapter 12. Let's go down to verse 10. It says, Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. And that's what a lot of our people do. They trust in their enemies, especially these so-called white people, these Edomites, not knowing that they have a perpetual hatred for you. You see, that they're always going to be your enemies. In this video that I'm going to play, this so-called black woman, you see, she put trust in one of her enemies. You see, even trimmed her ways to seek love from one of her enemies. And in the end, she was unalive. So let's play the video.
And now the details on the investigation into the death of Ashley Robinson. Her family is demanding answers after the influencer from South Jersey was found dead during a trip to Africa where she had just been engaged. Action reporter Cheyenne Corinne joining us live in the Satellite Center with more on this heartbreaking story. Cheyenne. Alicia, well, Ashley Robinson, she actually was raised locally in South Jersey, and now her death in Zanzibar is making headlines across the world. Well, today we spoke to her family in Delaware who say they aren't getting answers from her fiance or officials in Tanzania about what happened to her.
Uncertainty, mystery, anger, sadness. It's like a part of me is taken away.
On April 5th, influencer Ashley Robinson, who goes by Ashley Janae on social media, was celebrating her 31st birthday in Zanzibar.
You see that? You see who her enemy is? I mean, you see who her fiance is? It's one of her enemies. You see? So-called white man, an Edomite.
Tanzania. She was on the vacation with her boyfriend of 1 year, who popped the question
Salakia.
days before. We believe that they were in
Salakia, bear with me. This stupid thing just popped up.
Ashley's mother said she never
Let me go back.
less than a week later, her daughter would be dead.
Salakia.
On April 8th, she says Ashley called, saying she and her fiancé, Ashley Robinson, who goes by Ashley Janae on social media, was celebrating her 31st birthday in Zanzibar, Tanzania. She was on the vacation with her boyfriend of 1 year, who popped the question just 2 days before. We believe that they were in love. We believe that their relationship was genuine. Ashley's mother says she never would have expected that less than a week later, her daughter would be dead. On April 8th, she says Ashley called, saying she and her fiancé got into an argument and were moved to separate rooms. The next day, she received another call, this time from her fiancé. He told me that Ashley did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital. I said, what happened when? And he told me it had been 11 hours prior. Hours later, the luxury hotel the couple was staying at called saying Ashley passed away. According to the hospital's medical report, Ashley had an unidentified mark around her neck. They wrote, quote, according to the husband, he found she hanged herself on the door with several question marks.
Sometime Jill went back to the room with security, and that's how they found her.
Ashley was also taken to a second hospital who listed her cause of death as cerebral hypoxia by strangulation and suffocation. She's never done anything that would ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself.
She was not just going to be discarded and forgotten about.
And the family, as you just heard, they are just desperate for information. They tell us that they are requesting surveillance footage from the resort.
Yep, those type of results are all too familiar. These Edomites always seem to, when the Edomites involved, there's always seem to be a hanging, you see? Not too far behind. You would have to be a fool to think she hung herself. He obviously killed her. That's obvious. How do you strangle yourself? Come on, man. Never trust your enemy. Let's go back to Ecclesiasticus. Verse 10. Never trust your enemy. Like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So eventually they're going to show their true colors. You see? These Edomites are going to show their true colors if Jake deals with them. They're going to show the perpetual hatred that they have for you. Verse 11, though they humble themselves and go crouching, take good heed and beware of them. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. You see? And that's why he ended up unaliving her, because his rust had not been altogether wiped away. He still has that perpetual hatred for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. These Edomites, Edom, Esau, still has that perpetual hatred for Jacob, which Jacob goes back to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and a symbol of Indians, you Israelites, which make up the 12 tribes. You have enemies out here. Always remember that. You're in the land of your captivity, even unto this day. It says, set him not by thee, lest he, when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou shalt at the last remember my words. So like it says, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Verse 13, who will pity a charmer who is bitten with a snake, or any such as come now wild beasts? You see? And that's what she did. She came near this wild beast, this beast man, and she was bitten. Unalive by this devil. And I was watching another video about the same story, and someone commented to her on her live. She said, this guy, he looks like something's wrong with him. She said, don't trust it. Well, somebody commented to her that she shouldn't trust this guy on one of the lives that she had before she was unalive. You see? So she should have not trusted this Edomite. But that's what a lot of our people do. They trust the enemy. And results like this shouldn't be too surprising. You see, when you trust your enemy.
Call, this time from her fiance. He told me that Ashley did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital. I said, what happened when? And he told me it was within 11 hours prior. Hours later, the luxury hotel the couple was staying at called saying Ashley passed away. According to the hospital's medical report, Ashley had an unidentified mark around her neck. They wrote, quote, according to the husband, he found she hanged herself on the door with several question marks.
Sometime Jill went back to the room with security, and that's how they found her.
Ashley was also taken to a second hospital who listed her cause of death as cerebral hypoxia by strangulation and suffocation. She's never done anything that would ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself.
She was not just going to be discarded and forgotten about.
And the family, as you just heard, they are just desperate for information. They tell us that they are requesting surveillance footage from the resort. They also say that they have contacted police, the consulate, and embassy, and have not heard back. No action news. We also tried to contact Ashley's fiance, and we also did not get a response. The family says their next steps are going to Zanzibar themselves to try to get answers. We're live in the Satellite Center, Shine Crime Channel 6. Action.
Yep, never trust your enemy. He unalived her. And now he's trying to, deny it. He's trying to use what these Edomites always use, and that's cognitive dissonance. Pretending like they don't know what's going on around them because they're the wicked. All right, I'll end the lesson here. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Mahashim, Rekak, Wadash. Shalom.